Good morning. So welcome to Zafin, Hans. It's been quite a full week so far. 2 days at Bayern at the CIBC hosted event.
So yesterday at the end of the event, one of my staff asked me, okay, Hans, how do you value the event? And I said 9 out of 10. Zafin is a member for 8-9 years now in the meantime. So you've been engaged for a long time. So what is your perception of how we evolved?
Yeah, so if you look at our participation in all of the proof of concepts so far, a lot of the proof of concepts and projects that banks have been looking at have been internally focused. What do we do with the products that the customers have at the moment? How do we look at the pricing? But proof of concept 3 is now opening that up, with the introduction of open banking, to bring the whole relationship that the customer has together to provide a platform for next best offer in the future.
How do I move from my old environment to a more agile new environment? And that's why we call it Callus. And so how do you envision that journey?
When we look at Callus and what that really means to banks, we're kind of looking at it now from a new multi-core modernization and transformation strategy. Underpinning that is the fundamental Bayern core service domain landscape and business object model. Banks, typically struggle with the translation from either from old to new, or for change. And without having something foundational like Bayern, banks never really achieve the benefits or the enhancements that they expect to over these multi-year strategies. We're now providing accelerators. Bayern accelerators. So one of the other working groups that we've participated in over the years is the certification and compliance working group, where we've established the framework to translate, adopt and implement Bayern compliant capabilities. One of the best ways of new entrants to the Bayern world is to come and talk to companies like Zafin. But also to look at the proof of concepts. Whenever you look at a standard, when you look at an abstract set of concepts, as you said, service domains, behavioral qualifiers, what's a customer arrangement mean? It is mind-bogglingly complex. But when you put it into the context of real business use cases, so product origination, rate determination, aggregating a customer position, these mean things in a banking world. And when you look at how they translate to the Bayern service domains, and then how you can see how we can collaborate. So we do one of the most difficult things in the proof of concepts. We collaborate across multiple companies.
And how do you see the role of Zafin in the development of Bayern, but also in supporting your customers in that journey?
Initially, it was Zafin and Bayern creating the proposition. How do people go to market? How do people use Bayern? We're extending the model as part of Proof of Concept 3, but now we're also working with clients to help them deliver on their strategies. So they're going down the route education and adoption, and we're bringing along assets to help accelerate that journey, help them integrate into the wider ecosystem. It becomes a lot more simpler to relate to what Bayern does and how Bayern accelerates adoption, because one of the key things that I've seen throughout my career, I see on a day-to-day basis, people do love reinventing the wheel. That is not the best way to go forward. Take the standard, adopt the standard, and spend more of your time on innovation.
So Bayern, we have 5 contractors, so we couldn't achieve it with the 5 of us. So the participation of the members and the active members, and I mentioned earlier, Zafin is for many years an extremely active member, and helps us to achieve what we are doing for the benefit of the industry.
Yeah, it's the benefit of the industry and our clients.
They are the industry.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Hans.